This is what one interviewer asked Bill Gates, but his response was unusual. This is a tale about quite possibly of the most extravagant very rich person on the planet, Bill Gates. From 1995 to 2017, Bill Gates held the title of the most extravagant individual on the planet for a large portion of the years. This is supposedly a story from one of his meetings during that time. He was giving a meeting for a news channel. In the meeting, he was offered a fairly intriguing conversation starter. The questioner asked him, "Is there anybody more extravagant than you on the planet?" Individuals expected his reaction in silence. Obviously, he was the most extravagant individual on the planet and there was nobody more extravagant than him. In any case, Bill Gates grinned and replied. He said, "Okay, there is somebody who is more extravagant than me." The interviewer was astonished by this reaction. Who might that at some point be? Everybody pondered. What's more, who was that individual? He inquired. Bill Gates then, at that point, recounted this story. This was when Bill Gates was very youthful and not rich and popular by any means. He had graduated and was thinking of groundbreaking thoughts for his Microsoft project. On that day, he was at a New York air terminal. That is the point at which he saw a paper merchant. He got a duplicate of a paper, however, found that he didn't even have little change to pay for it. In this way, he set the paper back and was going to leave. That is the point at which the merchant said, "You can take the paper. I'm giving it to you free of charge." Entry was at first denied, yet when the seller demanded, he consented to take it. Around 90 days after the fact, precisely the same thing occurred. Bill Gates arrived at the air terminal and didn't track down sufficient change for a paper. In this way, the seller liberally gave him the duplicate free of charge. Yet again doors would not acknowledge it. The merchant said, "Kindly take it. I'm offering it to you from my benefit. I won't run up a misfortune on the off chance that I gave a paper for nothing." Thus, Gates benevolently acknowledged the duplicate, said thanks to him, and left. It required 19 additional years for him to become affluent and incredibly popular. By and by, he got back to that air terminal in New York. That is when old recollections came hurrying back to him. He needed to meet the paper merchant and began searching for him. However, he was mysteriously absent. It took Bill Gates close to 30 days to find the man at last. Gates met him and inquired, "Do you have at least some idea who I am?" The man snickered and said, "Obviously, I do. You are Bill Gates, the most extravagant man on the planet. Do you recollect that you gave me a paper for nothing?" He inquired. The merchant looked somewhat astonished and uncomfortable. After taking some time, he murmured, "Indeed, I do recall. I gave both of you papers for nothing." Bill Gates gestured and said, "All things considered, presently I can compensate you for your thoughtful gesture. Ask me for anything you desire and I will give it to you." The merchant looked shocked and faltered. Gradually, he started to talk. "In any case, sir, wouldn't you say that anything that you in all actuality do now won't match?" "My assistance?" he asked, obligingly. Presently, it was Gates' chance to be confounded. "Why not?" he inquired. The seller answered, "I had helped you when I was an unfortunate paper merchant. Furthermore, you are attempting to assist me now after you have turned into the most extravagant man on the planet. How could you assist with matching mine?" That day, Bill Gates understood that the paper merchant was more extravagant than he was. Wrapping up his story, Bill Gates shared with the questioner, "That paper seller is certainly more extravagant than I'm." He proceeded, "That man didn't hold back from becoming rich to help somebody." Peoples need to comprehend that the rich are the people who have a rich heart as opposed to loads of cash. This lowering story turned out to be extremely well known on the web and was ascribed to Bill Gates by numerous internet-based reports. No matter what reality, the story is an extraordinary sign of generosity to everybody on the planet. As Charlie Chaplin once said, "We think excessively and feel close to nothing." More than apparatus, we really want mankind. More than cunning, we really want benevolence and tenderness. Prior to needing to be rich and renowned, we should initially try to be a caring person.